they always said I'm wrong, but what they doing today? I think they want me gone, but I ain't going away. They told me I was wrong, but look at my ass today. Da 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 da.
What up, guys? Denton Day here from the Real Sports Talk here, bringing you a recap and review of WWE's 2011 SummerSlam, the 25th anniversary of the biggest event of the summer. We got tons to go through: the WWE Championship match, World Heavyweight Championship match, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. But first, let's start off with the first match of the night, which was Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, that's a little bit surprised to me that it started off the night. I definitely thought it would be a little bit later in the card, but it started off the night and got the pay-per-view off to a pretty good start. The match itself was pretty good. Jericho started out getting in a lot of offense, and then the tables turned a little bit. Ziggler got in his share of offense. They each hit their respective finishers. Jericho hitting the code breaker, Ziggler hitting the zigzag, getting the sleeper in. But in the end, Chris Jericho was able to pick up the win with the Walls of Jericho, proving that he can win the big one, and sending Dolph Ziggler home with no win at all. He didn't cash in the Money in the Bank later on the night, so Dolph Ziggler, he got proved wrong by Chris Jericho. And the next match we had was Kane versus Daniel Bryan. Now, personally, I was not thinking this match was going to be anything important at all. There's such a big size difference. I mean, Daniel Bryan's like 6'2" or something like that. Kane is almost 7 foot, close to probably like 300 pounds. So there wasn't a lot of potential coming into this match, but it actually surprised me a little bit. The two know what they're doing together. They've worked together before when they worked together with CM Punk, and they knew what they were doing. But in the end, like I predicted, Daniel Bryan was going to get the win. Probably everyone in the WWE Universe knew this was going to happen, but it was still a pretty solid match, and it kept the night rolling. You know, you never want to have start the night off with a good match like the Jericho and Ziggler match, and then have the next match just below. So they didn't do that, and the Kane and Daniel Bryan was actually pretty solid. Next, we had the Intercontinental title match between The Miz and Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio came up dressed up as Batman. They are in Hollywood, so Rey Mysterio getting a little Hollywoodish, expressing his inner Batman. But he was not able to express that in the ring. He did hit 1-6-1-9, but he missed the jump off the top rope. The Miz moved, caught him in a skull-crushing finale, and that was it, and The Miz retained. Again, another pretty solid match. Now, this match itself didn't have a lot of build-up, but The Miz and Rey Mysterio are two of the better workers in WWE. They both know what they're doing around the ring, and they have a little bit of chemistry together. So hopefully, maybe at Night of Champions, we'll see this matchup again, and maybe a little bit different of a result, depending if you're a Rey Mysterio fan, or you would probably want the same result if you are a Miz fan. Then we had the World Heavyweight Championship match, and to be completely honest, this match, it was kinda uninteresting to me, at least. Obviously, at one point last week on Monday Night Raw, we didn't even think this match was going to happen, and that itself kind of just killed all the previous build-up that it had to the match. I mean, the match itself was pretty solid, but it just wasn't there for me. The crowd really didn't get into it as much as you would think they would for a World Heavyweight Championship match. I didn't really get into it. I was checking Twitter throughout the whole match, doing other things. I still watched it, but I didn't watch it as heavily as I normally would for a World Heavyweight Championship match. With that being said, Del Rio pretty much controlled the match throughout the beginning. He did apply his cross arm breaker unsuccessfully, and Sheamus was able to take advantage of Ricardo Rodriguez trying to cheat. He threw Del Rio a shoe that Del Rio didn't catch. Sheamus picked it up, knocked him in the head with it. He hit the Irish backbreaker, I think that's what it's called, and was able to take advantage of the pin. Even though Del Rio's foot was on the rope, Sheamus was able to hit it off the rope before the ref could see, and was able to retain. Now, Del Rio was pretty pissed off about that, like he should be, but that was pretty much it. So it was a solid match, but like I said, the build-up wasn't there, and neither was the crowd in their reaction. And then we had the WWE Tag Team Championship match. Now, this match was actually pretty good. I knew it was going to be a good match, but this, for me, it exceeded my expectations. There was a lot of action throughout the match. Each side got a fair share of offense in, and there was actually a surprising amount of high flying in it. I mean, obviously you have Kofi Kingston, who was one of the biggest high flyers in WWE, and Kofi and Truth were able to take advantage of that. On the other hand, you had the primetime players who really took advantage of the 2-on-1. During the tags, they tag each other in and attack them for a little bit 2-on-1. When R-Truth and Kofi were out of the ring, Titus O'Neil was able to get Kofi to run around the ring and then have him attack Darren Young and then get a big boot to the face by Titus. So Titus O'Neil and Darren Young really took advantage of the 2-on-1 aspect of tag team wrestling, but in the end it was not enough, and Kofi Kingston and R-Truth were able to retain the tag team titles, which to me is a little bit of a disappointment. I wanted the primetime players to win to solidify them as one of the better tag teams, and this only raises the question of, what if Abraham Washington or AW wasn't fired? Would they have won, or would the situation be the same? That's something we'll never know unless someone from WWE leaks that information. But as for now, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth are still the WWE Tag Team Champions. Next, we had the second to last match of the night, the WWE title match. Now this, Michael Cole pointed out in the beginning of the match, CM Punk had, this year at least, has not main evented an actual pay-per-view. He's talking about all these disrespect, and that's almost the biggest disrespect of all, not main eventing the pay-per-view as a WWE champion. And this, again, he didn't main event the pay-per-view. But it was the triple threat match, and pretty much throughout the whole entire match, the Big Show was dominant. Obviously, he had such a big size advantage. He was able to take Cena and Punk out pretty much at will. There was a slight time when John Cena and CM Punk tried to double team him, but they just ended up getting double suplexed. But they were able to get the Big Show to the ground towards the end of the match, and the match ended with a double submission. CM Punk had what looked like a version of the Anaconda Vice locked in on the Big Show, and John Cena had the STF, and he tapped out, and it was ruled a double submission. But then out comes AJ Lee, the general manager of Monday Night Raw, and she rules restart the match. So what happens? Big Show and John Cena turn around, they get double choke slammed. So the Big Show tries to knock out John Cena, he misses the knockout punch, Cena hits the attitude adjustment, CM Punk throws Cena out of the ring and takes advantage and is able to retain his WWE title. So the man who's complaining about how he may not win if someone else is pinned, or someone else could do all the work, he takes advantage of John Cena doing all the work and retains his WWE Championship. So he will soon pass John Cena and JBL for one of the longest reigns in WWE history. Now, if there are any people out there who think that CM Punk may have the longest reign in history, don't count on it. I believe the longest reign is somewhere around like 2,000 days, so I don't think CM Punk is anywhere close to that. Sorry for all you guys who want him to get the longest reign ever. It's not going to happen. I believe it was by Bruno Sammartino, and he was champion for like 8 years or something crazy like that. So don't count on CM Punk being the longest reigning WWE champion ever. And the main event of the night was the highly anticipated Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. Now, earlier in the pre-show, if you watched that had the United States Championship match with Anthony Cesaro ended up winning. They showed Triple H talking to Scott Armstrong, who would be the referee for the night, saying that don't disqualify anyone, don't let this match end on a count out. This match is either going to be a pinfall or submission decision. It's going to be a fight. And that's what the match was. Brock Lesnar started off on top, and he was, throughout the whole match, attacking and attacking and attacking Triple H's left arm, which is the one that he broke several months ago. He was putting in unique forms of the Kimura lock. He was putting the arm behind his back and slamming him. Anything that Brock Lesnar could do within his power to injure Triple H's arm, that's what he was doing. But Triple H also got his share of offense in. They were outside the ring for quite a while, obviously. Triple H had said earlier, like I said, no countouts, and Triple H was able to throw Brock Lesnar into the announce table and hit him in the stomach, and Triple H started to take advantage of that stomach injury. He was able to do that a little bit. He hit a spine buster, he hit a pedigree, which Brock Lesnar kicked out of, and then Brock Lesnar hit an F5, which Triple H kicked out of, and then Triple H hit a second pedigree. And when he hit the second pedigree, I was like, oh god, it's over, and Brock Lesnar's going to lose. But Triple H goes down for the pin, and Brock Lesnar locks him in the Kimura arm breaker, and wins the match via submission, and it looked like he re-broke Triple H's arm. So Brock Lesnar is the winner, and the perfect storm just keeps rolling through SummerSlam. And then after the match, we had pretty much what was one of the most pointless 5 minutes of, well, at least my life. The camera just showed Triple H in the ring. I thought, maybe someone would come out, maybe like Randy Orton, Wade Barrett would make their return and make a statement, and instead we just got Triple H in the ring by himself, walking up the ramp by himself with nothing at all. And that's how they ended the show. Now in the match itself, I was a little surprised that there was no sledgehammers, no interference by Paul Heyman. He really didn't even play that big of a role, and there was no interference by Shawn Michaels. I thought they would bring him into the match, and they didn't. So Brock Lesnar pretty much got what you could call a clean win, which actually surprised me a little bit. But the bottom line is he got the win, and the perfect storm just kept rolling. So that's it for WWE's 25th anniversary of SummerSlam. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.
Just a little place around the corner from fear.